Hello?
Hello?
Yes, my friend, you are live on air.
Hello. Christian Prince, are you there?
Yes, I hear you.
All right, are you there, Christian Prince?
Yes, my friend, you are live on air. What do you
Oh,
want to say to
okay,
us?
sorry. Yeah, sorry about that. I was connecting my Bluetooth. I'm an American Muslim, and I recently converted to Islam, and I've been watching your videos on YouTube, and well, at first I got angry with you over some of the things you were saying. I've been looking into some of the things, and I think I've made a bad decision, and now I feel like I need to come out of it. But if I do that, I'm not going to tell anybody about it because I've recently learned about the apostasy laws, and I just think that I'm going to get some serious backlash. So I guess I'd be better off if
No,
I
my
just
friend, don't worry.
here.
You live in USA, they will not even dare to touch you. Those cowards, they will dare to touch you only if you live in their countries. No way.
Yeah, when I converted, I was told this beautiful story about how Islam is the only monotheistic religion left, and how Muhammad is the seal of the prophets, and Islam only engages in war if it's defensive war, and they were very nice and they were very kind when speaking to me, and they also said they believed in Jesus and they believe that Jesus will come back, and I did some investigation into the Islamic belief and how Jesus will come back. And what I found shocked me. According to the Islamic belief, if I'm understanding, is that when Jesus comes back, he's going to kill the pigs, which means Jews, and break the cross, destroy Christianity. And so, while it's true that they believe in Jesus, they believe in a very different Jesus than the one I was raised with. The Jesus in Islam is hostile towards uh, traditional Christians and Jews, and that's one of the many reasons. I was angry at you at first, but I'm actually glad that you do what you do because there's so many things that so many Muslims don't know about their own faith, and myself included. So I just thought I would give you a call and
Did you ever call me
speak to you.
before? Did you ever call me before?
No,
No.
no.
Yeah. Because there's some
Yeah,
silly people they say and you called me before, but you did not. Yeah. People that are silly.
yeah.
So my friend, so did you decide today to leave Islam?
Yes,
I mean to
yes. I'm
that. And
gonna.
what about becoming Christian again? Do you accept Jesus as your Lord and your Savior?
Yes, I do,
I mean to that, and
and
we are happy for you.
I feel terrible for that dude. There's a lot of really good Muslims out there who I don't think that they either don't know about the core things that Islam teaches. Another thing that Islam teaches is that women don't have the same rights as men do. I mean, yes, they have rights, but I'll give you an example. The Quran teaches that a woman is required to submit to the sexual needs of her husband, and if she doesn't, Allah and His angels will curse her all throughout the night when
Exactly.
she's asleep. And a man is able to unilaterally divorce his wife, no questions asked. A woman can't do that in Islam. A man can have up to 4 wives, although Muhammad could have more, which yeah,
A privilege,
I was, yeah,
sexual
yeah,
privilege to the cult leader.
exactly. And not only that, Muhammad had sex slaves. He sold sex slaves. So I've been doing a lot of investigating into the faith after I converted, and I should have done more before I took the Shahada,
Yeah.
but
For how long you been a Muslim?
not very long, about 3 months, not very long.
Few months?
Yeah, a few months.
Okay.
I was curious. I went to a mosque. I met some very nice people there. They were very open, very welcoming. I was actually surprised on how open and welcoming they
Well, they
would
are
be.
nice because they wanna win you. You know, this is the game. You know, what do you think they will be rude to you? I mean, they're trying to win you to join us, right? So it's a trap. Ha, have you
And
have you ever heard of a scam is not nice when they call you like, like a scam? You know what scam is?
right, and well, and I've been asking some of my friends who I attended the mosque with some of these questions, and they don't like to hear them. They don't like to hear them. They don't like answering them. Or they say things like, "Well, you're taking it out of context. You're misinterpreting it," and that it's almost as if Islam is never wrong, ever. The Christians are always wrong, and Islam is always right. Islam has never killed a person. It's never done anything that would reflect negatively on the faith. And I was also looking into ISIS and other
Mm.
terrorist organizations that have done, beheadings, and, rapes, sex slavery, and all of these things. And I thought, before I converted to Islam, I thought, well, that's not real Islam. I thought, most Muslims don't do that, so that's got to be a perversion of the faith. And what I found was Muhammad, during his lifetime, beheaded several thousand people during his political campaign after he went from Mecca to Medina. He then became a politician and a jihadist, so he switched from religion. He turned to politics, and his favorite method of execution was beheading. That was his favorite way to, and he beheaded.
Actually, his favorite was a crucifixion and putting nails in the eyes and cutting hands and feet.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow, what a good trade-off.
yeah. This is his favorite, and this is actually in the Quran. So and Muhammad, he practiced that. He put nails, he heated nails, and he put them in the eyes of those people who oppose him, as we can
Yeah,
find in the yeah.
and with his wife, I also found out that with his wife Aisha, part of how he got Aisha to marry him was he and Aisha tricked Aisha's
No,
uncle.
not Aisha, Khadija.
Oh, okay, right.
Khadija.
Well, they tricked him into getting Muhammad to marry him.
Right.
They tricked him while he was asleep, and they
The,
put
the
ceremonial marriage
yeah,
robes on him.
yeah. They made the father drunk. They made the father drunk, and they changed his clothing. And then when he woke up, they told him, "You married me to this guy," but he said, "No, I did not." So it was a fraud.
Right.
Yeah, and this is telling you the quality of the wife and the husband.
And well, and so at first when I was watching your videos, I thought that you had I thought this guy's just got a real beef against Islam, and I thought a lot of the things you were saying were nonsense, but at the same time, I couldn't put down your YouTube channel. I just kept listening, and so I did some investigations, and so much stuff I found out since then.
So for how
Muhammad
long you are
is
listening? For how long you are listening to my channel?
a few months, 2 months.
Okay.
I listened to it 30 days after I converted to Islam, and you were doing a video about what was it? You were debating a Muslim. I think his name is Ibn Farouk. Was his name?
Ibn Farouk. Okay.
Ibn Farouk. Well, you were debating him, and I think he was using a fake name.
Okay.
And when you were debating him, you guys were talking about when Adam sinned in the garden, and you were discussing whether or not angels had the ability to lie.
Correct.
Yeah, you were saying, tell me these things if you are true. I can't remember exactly what you wrote,
In
but I'm sure
kuntum
you remember the
sadiqun. If
one
you
I'm
are,
talking about.
yeah, tell me the names of those things if you are truthful.
Right, and so I really liked Ibn Farouk, and I still do. I mean, I don't think he's a bad person. And
But he's a
so I
liar.
looked into,
He's a liar.
well,
How he can be a good person? He's a liar. A person he keep lying. He cannot be a good person.
right, well, I think
Yeah.
a lot of them do, and that's another thing.
Yeah.
Islam
So
teaches a thing called
a good person, he don't make religion as a business of lying, because supposedly you are following God, and the one who is religious is the last one to lie, right? So when the one who is religious is lying, so what kind of religion this religion is?
right. And another thing, because I was a Christian before I converted to Islam, and what's really alarming to me is when I look at the Quran and the things written in the Quran, and then I look at what the Book of Revelation teaches about the end times, about how people who worship the image of the beast, which I now firmly believe is the Kaaba in Mecca, is the image of Allah, which Muslims refer to as Yamin Allah, the right hand of Allah. I believe what the Book of Revelation is talking about is it's an image in the desert that that the majority of the world would covet shortly before the return of Jesus. And it talks about how Christians will be beheaded in the last days, how there'll be massive persecution. And I look, another thing, what most people don't understand about Muhammad was after he died, his caliphs, Abu Bakr, followed by Umar, followed by Uthman, they conquered a quarter of the world's population in a span of, I think it was 40 or 50 years. They conquered most of North Africa, the Middle East. It used to be Christian before Islam came out of Arabia. But as soon as Islam came into the world and the caliphs came into the world, they immediately began attacking their neighbors to the north, south, east, and west in all directions, and it's still going on to this day. So when people get upset when they say that ISIS is not the true Islam, I can tell you right now that as somebody who, at least until most recently was a Muslim, even for a short period of time, ISIS is practicing the Sunnah. They are practicing the core teachings of Islam. 50 years after Islam was born, over 90,000 churches were destroyed all throughout the Middle East, going towards Persia, and all throughout North Africa. So,
When somebody says to you ISIS is not Islam, you should say to him, name for me one thing ISIS did Muhammad did not do. Just name one.
He did all of it. The sex slaves, Muhammad had sex slaves. He sold sex slaves. His favorite sex slave.
Beheading, cutting hands, cutting feet, crucifixion, I mean, everything they did is very Islamic, attacking the neighbors. Muhammad, he says, attack the Romans so you can get the blonde girls.
And, I truly believe that it's see, most Christians today think that the mark of the beast is going to be some microchip or some, or some stamp on your hand or your forehead, but they don't know what the Shahada is. The Shahada, when someone recites the Shahada, they are renouncing Jesus Christ. They are proclaiming allegiance to Allah, to Muhammad. Yeah, they're pledging allegiance. It's a declaration. God doesn't care about a barcode on your hand. He doesn't care about a microchip. He cares about false worship to a false God. That's what makes God angry. So that is what the mark of the beast is. And in the end times, I believe it's the Mahdi is going to be the Antichrist. What for your listeners who don't know who the Mahdi is, the Quran teaches that shortly before the Day of Judgment, that an Islamic Jesus will return to Syria in Damascus, and that the Mahdi, who is the Islamic Messiah, will purge the world of Christianity and Judaism and to establish Allah's eternal rule on earth. And it's going to be from Jerusalem, not from Mecca. The Muslims want to retake Jerusalem, and they want to set up an image to Allah in Jerusalem. And all of this is in the Bible and the Quran. So Christians it's imperative that when you talk about end times, that you don't just look at your Bible. You have to look at the Quran, what Muhammad taught in the Sunnah and the Hadith about the end times, because it all bears a direct relevance to all of this. And
Well, my friend, we
But
are happy. We are happy that you decide to leave this garbage. And if you know any of your friends, you met them during the time you became a Muslim in the mosque, and they were a Christian, they converted to Islam, let them watch my videos and ask them to be free to call me if they are still not convinced to leave Islam.
right,
All right?
and yeah, and you know, with the apostasy laws, uh, you know, I
Well, don't
called
worry
you
about
today
apostasy law. Don't
under a
worry
different.
about it. Here, they don't dare to do anything. Here we go. I live in America. I laugh at Muhammad every day. What they can do about it? We are men. We are not cowards, right?
Right, and
We are men, and
yeah, I'm not worried
we
about
are not
anything
cowards.
happening to me here.
Yeah. What?
But the reason I'm bringing up the apostasy laws, yeah, I'm not worried about anything happening
Yeah.
to me here.
Don't
It's just
worry.
Many Muslims take these apostasy laws very seriously. They
No, they don't. They don't. People are leaving
and a lot of
Islam, my
people think
friend.
it's a joke. It's
People are
not a
leaving
joke.
Islam. No, people are leaving Islam in the Middle East, left and right. Just go and see in the Middle East what's happening. You know, all days is over. All this is over. The only place is crazy is like Pakistan. You know, Pakistan is those are the country. All of it is controlled by terrorists. Bangladesh, maybe Pakistan. But if you go in the Middle East, if you go to many countries in the Middle East, you will see many even changing their names from Muhammad to George or whatever. You know, so all this is really over. Even now, the
And
Islamic fatwa of Egypt, because many they are leaving Islam, they don't dare anymore to say we want to kill him. There's no, that's it. The law of apostasy in Egypt cannot be practiced. The law of apostasy, even in Saudi Arabia, cannot be practiced. They have now music, they have theater, they have a party. Even now, the Saudi prince established a bikini beach. So all days is over, and I assure you soon the Saudi Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia will allow Christians to build the churches because they are trying to fix this country which Muhammad damaged. So there's a big
right,
revolution in the Middle East right now, and the Middle East is a change. Just last week, the government of Emirat, they changed the holiday or every weekend from the normal Friday to be Saturday and Sunday. So from now on, Muslim in United Arab Emirates, they have their weekend as us, Saturday and Sunday, which is following the Bible.
right, and for your listeners too, another thing with when people first convert to Islam, they really just like I was born in the United States. I'm an American. I was born and raised as a Christian. When you convert to Islam, they're really obsessed with micromanaging everything you do, how you dress, how you speak, what what you're allowed to say, what you're not allowed to say. Everything is haram. Absolutely everything is haram. You got just people bugging you night and day, and if you don't show up to mosque, you don't show up to prayer, you have people calling you wanting to know how come you haven't shown up.
Yeah, they harass you.
I mean,
You know, it's harassment
so
religion. They're trying to
so it's
intimidate you too.
militant.
They try to intimidate you to tell you we are watching you in case you do not know.
Right,
You know?
and
Yeah.
that's another reason why uh, when I first came across your videos, I started taking a closer look, and it's been an incredible couple of months. All the stuff that was not taught to me that I've since discovered. Muhammad was a sadistic human being. He removed the heads of 800 Jews in a single day. In a single day, while his wife watched, they watched the beheadings from sunup until sundown. This was after they had conquered the city of Khaybar, I believe. Muhammad conquered Khaybar. They rushed out all the male Jews that were alive. Women and children were immediately given to Muslim families, and they beheaded 800 Jews in a single day. In a single day, and then after his death, Muhammad's generals, one of his generals was a man by the name of Khalid al. I can't pronounce his last name. Khalid was the name. I'm sure you know who I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Khalid had killed Zoroastrian Christians, beheaded them at once, and this is a terrible story, but your listeners need to hear it. Khalid was one of Muhammad's top generals, who was also
Maybe you
a
mean
general
Khalid.
for.
Khalid? You mean Khalid?
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
He's also a general for Abu Bakr, who was Muhammad's first caliph.
Hmm.
Khalid went to the to some Christians in Iraq. That he conquered this Christian city. He then took the I believe it was the Zoroastrian tribal leader. He cut off the man's head. he takes the man's head and he drains the blood into the soil of the ground below him, and then raped the man's wife in the
Yeah,
bloody
well,
soil.
this one supposedly, this one was not a Christian. Supposedly he was a Muslim, and he killed him. He cooked his head, and he raped his wife. Correct. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so Islam destroys the human spirit. These are when you think of these acts that Muhammad did and then his close companions did. This is why I'm leaving Islam. I can't follow this. I cannot follow this. I cannot follow somebody in good faith who not just he did these things, but his generals and his caliphs did these things. So these were the apostles of Muhammad: Khalid, Abu Bakr, Omar.
They are gang.
The caliph after that,
Yeah.
Uthman. They
Yeah.
all
So
did
so the point is, if he is the same as his friends, all of them, they are a bunch of filthy criminals.
all of them. And now one thing I'm with many Muslims today that I am happy about is that many of them don't embrace this interpretation, or they don't embrace these acts. But what's sad to me is they believe.
No, my friend, you are wrong. They do.
Yeah.
They do embrace it. They do embrace it, but they are hypocrite. So when they live in the West, they are not in the place they can say the truth, because that will cause them to be in trouble. So because they are, this is religion of hypocrisy. Chapter 3, verse 28, it says, you can speak to them in a friendly way while your heart dislikes this. So they don't really, all of them, they embrace it. If you ask this Uthman ibn Farouk, if you ask him, do you support killing the Christian and the Jews? Your prophet says, when I kill the Jews in the judgment day, he will never dare to say yes, you know. But if he is living in Afghanistan, he will say yes. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
those people depend where they live. They don't really, when they say to you, oh, we don't embrace ISIS, they are lying. All of them, they support ISIS. The one who don't support ISIS is government. Because why? Like the royal family of Al Saud, they knew that ISIS and Al Qaeda is a threat. Why? Because they want to take their place. But they are not opposing them because they are bad Muslims. They are opposing them because they want to take their place. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Or maybe I'm at the same time. Maybe I'm forgetting to remind myself that Islam teaches that it's okay to deceive unbelievers if it spreads or advances Islam. And the Arabic word for it is called taqiyya.
Taqiyya, yeah.
Or hudna. Hudna is another word.
Taqiyya, chapter 3, verse 28.
Yeah, so it could be perhaps that, and it's hard to tell. You know, maybe they're just deceiving me because, you know, especially with new Muslims, people who just convert to Islam, you know, they don't know anything about Islam. It's really easy to deceive them, or to maybe paint a picture of Islam that is not the real Islam. So I pray that a lot of Muslims will leave Islam. You know, Muhammad. It's my personal belief that this religion was started by Muhammad as a justification for political conquest.
For money, for power. This is what Muhammad is about. He's a satanic man. He made a privilege just for his private part. He made a privilege just for his pocket. He made a privilege even for God, because he made himself his God on earth. So whatever the prophet say, you obey. So he became God on earth. So this guy, this madman, he is perverted, he is sick, he is filthy, he is a criminal, and he used God in order to conquer. At the same time, he said, there's 5 names given to me. One of them is Al-Mahi, which means the eraser, and I will erase Christianity and Judaism. So Muhammad, he made it clear. I have a purpose. I am the evil Muhammad. I'm going to erase everything good in this earth. I will erase the Messiah. I will erase the angels. I will erase God, and I will place myself instead, and I will make this earth is a land of a bloodshed. And he said, I've been commanded to kill all mankind until they say there's no God but Allah and Muhammad, except the Muslims. So if you are a person who bow down to the devil, Muhammad will not kill you. If you don't bow down to the devil Muhammad, he will kill you. And this is a clear sign of a filthy man. He's a scumbag. My friend, I want to say thank you for calling us. We cannot keep you for longer, but I'm glad that you decided to leave Islam. And I hope maybe in the future you can call us to share more stories of your experience. But today, by the way, your voice was very low. Maybe next time is going to be better.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I have my Bluetooth then. I apologize. Thank you, Christian friends. Have a wonderful day.
It's all right. Take care. Bye-bye.